So I took the leap and founded Retail Mavens. And we're a team of retail experts that we help store owners grow their sales and their profits so that they can pay themselves more, they can build a legacy, and sleep better. That's right, sleep better. More profit and better sleep. And be richer retailers. Welcome to Richer Retailer, where we're going to fix your cash flow and build profits so you can build a legacy and finally sleep better. That is for sure what I needed when I had my store. Hosted by me, Cathy Donovan Wagner, I'm an accidental retailer who went from near bankruptcy to owning 3 successful stores, generating multiple 7 figures in sales. As the founder of Retail Mavens, my mission is to help more women-owned retail stores reach $1 million. So if you're ready to scale past 7 figures and you like coffee, champagne, and profit and fun, well, at least profit and fun, our solutions will help. Join the Millie Club and let's go! It's me. Hi. I'm Cathy Donovan Wagner, your retail maven, and I founded Retail Mavens, the host of the Richer Retailer podcast. Thanks so much for joining me today. Listen, I was an accidental retailer. Any other accidental retailers in there? Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't that how that happens? So I took the leap and founded Retail Mavens, and we're a team of retail experts that we help store owners grow their sales and their profits so that they can pay themselves more, they can build a legacy, and sleep better. That's right, sleep better. More profit and better sleep. And be richer retailers. That's the thing. I got into retail. It was because my oldest daughter, I met a guy in my birthing class or whatever before my oldest daughter was born, and he had a kid's store in the town that I lived in. And so he's like, hey, would you like to come work with me? And I had always worked, through school and college and everything in high school, and thought, but I had never done retail. And so I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to. So I tried it and loved it. I loved helping people solve their problems, provide solutions for them when they came into the store, to help them be rock star gift givers, right? That's what I love to do. I kept having all these ideas on things he could do to improve the store. And shockingly, after a while, he said to me, listen, if you've got so many ideas, you should open your own store. I thought to myself, I think I will. My great aunt, my favorite aunt, Aunt Hannah, had died and had left my sister and I some money. And we went to the bank and used that for collateral and got a loan and opened up Duck Duck Goose. And oh my goodness, friends, we were so successful right away, right out of the gate, that we decided that we were going to open a second store. After all, this retail thing was so easy. We were obviously retail geniuses, right? Oh my goodness, it was all so wonderful and easy until all of a sudden it wasn't. Oh my goodness, suddenly everything that had worked before was not working now. The economy changed and we didn't know what to do differently. We kept trying so many things. We kept trying so many different strategies. And oh my goodness, it was so crazy. What I know is that no one is good at every part of running a retail business. I found that most store owners are really good at their passion, the reason why they opened the store, the reason why they started their website, right? They're really passionate about that. I said, and if that was the only skill we needed to have a successful business, we'd all be successful from day one, right? But like I said, I learned the hard way from opening that kids store. It was like a lifestyle boutique store with my sister that it wasn't enough. My passion alone wasn't enough for me to be successful. It wasn't. Oh my gosh, I would lay awake at night wondering how the store was going to make it through the next month, wondering how I was going to make payroll and pay rent. And I kept trying to think positively, right? So I can remember driving to the stores and thinking, gosh, Cathy, remember how excited you were when you held that key in your hand the first time after you'd signed the lease, and you were full of of all the things, all the feelings, much like I feel here today, right? I feel so excited and so nervous, nerve-sighted. I had someone say to me once, and I was like, yes, I totally get that. So that's all it is. I've got to, but that wasn't enough. I found myself just drowning in inventory decisions and cash flow worries and how to manage my team. I mean, no one teaches you to be a leader. No one teaches you how to manage a team and how to help support people to be their best, right? It was so hard. You are not alone, let alone having time for my family, right? As a mom and a store owner who almost lost everything, I intimately understand the weight of all those worries. Gosh, it brings me right back. Those sleepless nights that I just couldn't sleep, and the constant stress impacted everything and almost made me walk away from my retail dreams entirely. So we were so close to bankruptcy, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to swallow my pride. I'm going to call my Uncle Bill, my godfather. I'm going to call him. And I got all excited pulling together all this information and, oh my gosh, see, things aren't as bad as I thought. This is great. All this stuff is going right. And I had all my plans to share with him. And so I launched into it. I was so excited, so pumped up. And he says to me, Cathy, wow, I can tell you're so passionate about this. And that's great. And I trust you and I know you, but I don't think you know your numbers. What? I said. Of course I know my numbers. I've just shown you all these numbers. I know my numbers. I don't know retail, he said. I'm a successful businessman in other ventures. And he said, what it looks like to me is that you've got money coming in the front door, and then it's all going out the back door plus more. And there's not any left over for you and your sister to hold in your hands. And I was like, oh, geez. So he says, I'm sorry, Cathy, I can't loan you the money now. I was so sure he was going to loan me the money. I can remember driving home just thinking, oh my goodness, he's just totally wrong. He doesn't understand. Right. He said he doesn't know retail. He certainly doesn't know retail. And then I pulled over to the side of the road because I was like, oh my gosh, what if he's right? I mean, it does make sense. There isn't enough money. Something is very fundamentally wrong. What could it be? I mean, should I just give up? I can remember sitting there by the side of the road in the dark, by the forest preserve, just weighing the whole thing in my head and praying about it. And gosh, I just needed some wisdom. And then realized that, no, I really wanted to continue. I didn't want to give up on this dream. I really liked being in retail. I really liked what we did. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't want to give up. I really wanted to figure out what it was. I kept thinking there has to be more to a science to it that I just don't know, that I can't find. So I decided that I was for sure going to dig back in. I can remember so clearly sitting there on the side of the road by the forest preserve and deciding that, no, I was going to turn it around. I was going to find out. So it took me resourcing up, getting a coach. That's what turned everything around. That's when I was able to finally see the pieces that I had been missing. I didn't know what I didn't know. I kept trying to make good decisions over and over and over again. And obviously none of them was good enough or none of them was making a big enough impact. I wasn't suddenly, just flush with money yet. It hadn't worked out. And until my coach shined a light on exactly what the problem was. He was a retail expert who had been in retail. He knew retail, and he shone a light on the dark spots and showed me what could be different. I didn't know what I didn't know until I did, right? The beauty of working with someone who's already been through the path you're on and has already succeeded is that they can see the big forest for all the trees. I could only see the trees. And I kept working hard to see the forest. I would have told you for sure I tried. But at the end of the day, though, it was that whole insanity struggle where I really was just banging my head against the wall, different walls, but I kept expecting different results and I kept not getting them. So it obviously wasn't working. So when I hired that coach, that's what changed everything for me, because he showed me what could be different. He showed me how I could change things. Mark Weiss was his name. Amazing, amazing guy. Now listen, it didn't happen overnight, but by managing our inventory better and our cash flow, you have to do both things at once. We actually had worked with a coach originally who was fabulous. Sandy was her name. She was fabulous. And she helped us so much with a lot of the art of retail, but just did this whole cash flow piece just wasn't something she was skilled at. And without the cash flow, it doesn't matter if you know the art, because you have to have the cash flow. You have to have the cash, right? So you have to have that. And we were able to climb out of the deepest hole we'd been in and turn things around. Both stores were successful. We ended up opening a third store. We were doing multiple millions of dollars in business. It was so exciting. And we just kept going. I ended up with 4 kids and 3 stores and just loving my retail life. It was so fun. And you know that feeling when you've discovered something that's really great, that's made your life easier in some way, and you want to tell the world and do, whether they knew they needed it or not, right? That's exactly what started happening to me. I so didn't want other people to suffer as much as I did. And so I found myself teaching store owners and talking to store owners at every market, every trade show or networking event I went to, sharing all the things I had learned, because they were all such hard-fought lessons, right? I realized it wasn't just me who had struggled. None of my retail friends knew the things that I hadn't known either, right? And that's when I realized my next mission in life. I truly believe that God put me on earth, that he placed this mission in my heart to help store owners everywhere, particularly women store owners, step into their power and create a business that serves their lives and communities while building a legacy for themselves and their family and supporting their dreams. I'm here to support you to step into the life of a richer retailer. It's not just about being rich in money, although it is that, but it's also about being rich in relationships and in your time and in your freedom. And of course, it wasn't as easy of a journey as it sounds. Like, it wasn't like the skies just parted and my path was clearly illuminated and I just skipped down it. I agonized over leaving the store, to be honest. My relationship with my sister was suffering, and I just couldn't decide was this really the path I should go on? Was this exactly what I should do? And there was one day when I was working behind the counter at our flagship store, and somebody came in and said they were looking for a brown belt for their toddler. I said, "Oh yeah, we've got some right back here." And so I took her over to the belt, and she said, oh no, this isn't right. I was like, "Oh, the size isn't right or something?" And she said, "Well, no." She said, "It's not the right color brown." I said, "What do you mean?" "I mean, it's brown." And she says, "No, I'm looking for like a reddish brown." "Oh," I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, we don't have those." "Well, why not?" So she left, and I can remember thinking that was the moment that I knew that having a store was no longer for me, because I just found so much joy in helping people not make all the mistakes that I did, and that was where I had to go. And that's when Retail Mavens was born. I sold my stores to focus on spreading the word of all these successful retail strategies based on science. And I've never looked back. I understand what you're going through. We all do, right? All of us in Retail Mavens do. I mean, I know I'm not there right now because of all the work I've done and all the lessons I've learned. So many lessons, so much work, so many mistakes, right? And now you, my friends, are the beneficiary of all those mistakes that I made and all the things I've done, Listen, you'll make your own mistakes. And if you'll let me, I'll be here to hold your hand and support you and help you through them. I want you to know that there is hope. The other thing you have to remember, at Retail Mavens, we have a holistic view of your retail business, meaning that your retail store doesn't just exist to serve your customers and your communities. You make a big impact in both of those things for sure, but it's also there to serve your life. Know that can be your reality too. As I said, I continue to grow and fail and succeed in businesses. I never stop learning. I never stop identifying roadblocks and obstacles. And I'm always looking for proven hacks and strategies to help me be richer in every single way so that I can share them with you, so that you can also be richer in every single way, so that you can be a richer retailer. That's what we're here for. I want you richer in your bank account, richer in your life, in your relationships, and in your time. So join us, in being a richer retailer. Thank you so much for your time today. Can't wait to see you next time. And remember, you're loved. Happy retailing.